Good afternoon. I'm Deb Wyandt, SMACNA's Executive Director of Labor Relations, and we are pleased to have the SMART General President, Joseph Sellers, with us. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you, Deb.
Joe, what do you see as the greatest challenge facing the sheet metal industry right now?
The greatest challenge is growth, making sure that we have the right plans in place to grow our organization. Make sure that we have the right plans and we're thinking strategically about where our markets are going, and that we're thinking about the 2 years, 3 years, 5, 10 years out from now to make sure that we're meeting our job opportunities that we have right now, as well as thinking forward to where those job opportunities lie tomorrow and how do we meet those challenges in the future. SMART continues to have planning sessions. We make sure that when we go to different council meetings and local meetings, at our business agent conference, which was just recently in the summertime, talking about planning and giving the tools to local unions so that they can analyze the markets as well as project what their mobilization schedules will be and how do they grow their union, which ultimately will grow our organization.
Obviously, SMACNA National is likewise interested in growth. What role do you see in growth for SMACNA National, our chapters, or our contractors?
I think working together to come to what that would look like is very important. Getting a good idea of what the forecast is, and as we forecast together, we can do a much better job at what those projections will look like. A lot of our programs, JATC training, making sure they are labor management, making sure that we are looking out at what the industry will look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
I know that one of the issues that is very important to SMART is one that is very important to our contractors as well, and that issue is rising health care costs. What are some of the strategies that you believe would be most effective in helping the local plans maintain a solid level of benefits while managing their costs?
A lot of people try to put us in a silo. They keep us in an area where we're local by local and our numbers are much less, but if we can aggregate those numbers up across an entire region and be able to show our numbers and our risk factors across the region, not just by a local, I think we could have much better impact. We've seen some real good successes with that. We've implemented the Medicare Advantage prescription drug component. That has been really successful. When we couple all 8 regions together, the opportunities that we can have and the pricing that we can have based on the larger group, the larger belly buttons that are out there, and be able to take advantage of the pricing because of our strength. People like to keep us in a silo. They like to keep us small because whether it's professionals or providers, they certainly can bid the package much differently than they can when we're looked at as 202,000 SMART members with the assets and the resources that we have. You're seeing SASME came out offering their HRA component, right, which is called HICRA for SASME, but being able to look at the HRA component and be able to share that with all locals across the country. That also came out of our regional healthcare model. Those ideas. So that's thinking strategically. That's thinking not only for what I can do today, but it's planning for the members and the plan participants 5 years from now.
One of the primary concerns of SMACNA contractors are the non-union sheet metal industry. What assistance can SMART International offer to contractors who are really struggling with competitive issues?
We need to make sure that we're communicating properly, right? So the local unions, there's a lot of locals across the country, United States and Canada, making sure that we get to really the basics of contacting their local representative and contacting their local business manager, right? They have a lot of tools. They have they have the ability to create an agreement. Sometimes it's a light commercial agreement. Sometimes it's a residential light commercial agreement to meet some of the needs in the area. A lot of times we got to look at the communication that's going on. So there's been cases where we've been made aware of issues. First thing we do is contact the local. We want to contact the local and see what the perspective is, and then get back to the local chapter or get back to the contractor. So I think breaking it down that way, if there is a problem, certainly we could be contacted, but just so everybody knows, we're going to go back to the local union and see how the communication was developed with that need, or whether it's a direct non-union contractor competitiveness, or whether it has to do with something else that's that may be not communicated properly at the local level.
Do you think SMACNA and SMART are doing enough to guarantee funding for the National Pension Fund and eliminating the unfunded liability that it has?
We are still on target to meet our funding improvement plan. So that does go to help the unfunded liabilities. While it's not a quick fix, but it's been a long issue, right? It's been a long problem that has continued to grow. When it comes to whether it's at the National Pension Fund or whether it comes to a local plan, there's three real pieces of the pension fund. There's market return. So National Pension Fund trustees are very, very diligent with their professionals, their consultant when it comes to markets and investment managers. But you really can't control the market, right? You can go up and you can go down, but you're not going to control what the Dow or the NASDAQ's going to do, right? So you can't do that. The other is contributions. And really, as an industry, we've continued to increase contributions. So I think we've done that. The other component that we can do much better goes back to one of the earlier questions. What we can do much better is secure the hours. The more hours that we have, the more contributions that we come in, and really that's our responsibility as an industry to go after. And if we can capture more jobs, more projects, be focused, be strategic about going after the jobs, then that's the part that we can do together and do it better.
It's very obvious that the labor and management trustees on the National Pension Fund have been working very, very diligently in that regard and really serve as a model for a group that's working together to be strategic and to confront something that's a very important concern of both your members and ours. What is the biggest challenge of being the SMART General President?
Biggest challenge is making sure that we grow our union. Making sure that we're meeting our targets, making sure that we're capturing every job, making sure that we're filling every job. That is what our plan is right now going into the future. Create the plans and the strategies that will get us there 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. Most rewarding is staying connected, is getting out and visiting with locals and councils and contractors. I've visited a lot of shops and I've visited a lot of contractor meetings. I really enjoy getting out there and making sure that I'm on top of what the industry's doing and meeting with the people that have the ability for us to affect change and to meet the goals that that SMART has going into the future. I'm approachable. I like to be approachable. I'd like to have a conversation with somebody. I was walking through the halls of your meetings over the last day, and I'm sure that over the next couple days, I hear the good and the bad. And I want to be the person. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear. And it doesn't matter if it's a local union member or a local union representative or a contractor. I come from a local that had a lot of labor management. We're meeting every month. There again, I don't come from the perspective that we're always going to agree, but I think that we can build consensus on the parts that we can. And if I don't know what the problem is, it's difficult to make progress on that from where I am.